Before we get to the movie, I want to talk about the Oscars. They're coming up very soon. I think the Best Supporting Actor category is the most interesting to me. I am disappointed that Delroy Lindo was snubbed for that.
Yeah.
I would have given him the nomination over Sacha Baron Cohen.
Cohen got a double nomination with his Best Supporting Actor because he's also being nominated for Borat. But the Academy was not going to nominate Borat for Best Actor. Even though he's doing things that no other actor can do. Daniel Day-Lewis and Meryl Streep can't do Borat.
Daniel Day-Lewis could. I would love to see Daniel Day-Lewis's Borat. Because he could do it.
My wife. Yeah, I could hear him saying my wife, yes.
Speaking of Sacha Baron Cohen's other nomination, what is the deal with the Best Adapted Screenplay category? Borat?
Because it's a sequel.
Yeah. Nomadland. I mean, you can say a lot of good things about Nomadland, but not a great screenplay.
I don't get how it works, though.
I want to see what the other nominees are.
Ma Rainey, I imagine?
1 second.
And Her Black Bottom.
If that play was written today, it would be called Ma Rainey and the Junk in Her Trunk.
When they do the Black Eyed Peas version of that.
Ma Rainey and Her Humps. I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good. It might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement. One of the goals we strive for on this show is the unbroken line. Watching a movie from every year from 1927 till now-ish. Currently, our most recent movie that we've watched on this show is from 2016. You'd think after 10 years we'd have hit them all, but there's still 2 that we haven't. And after tonight, there will be 1. The year is 1929. A devastating global pandemic is 10 years in the rearview mirror. An unprecedented financial crisis is looming. Who will save America? Quite possibly a little wooden fellow named Otto and his friend, the great Gabbo. Released in 1929, TGG stars Erich von Stroheim and Betty Compson. It was directed by James Cruise with uncredited direction by Erich von Stroheim.
I pulled an Orson Welles.
This is a musical, and it features songs by Lynn Cohen, Donald McNamee, King Zaney, and Paul Titsworth.
A zanier name than Zany, right there.
There is one production number, The Gaga Bird, which is missing from all existing prints of the film and presumed lost. I have a theory that Lady Gaga would be much more successful if she was Lady Gaga Bird.
Yes, she'd be more successful than she is now. And she could finally quit her day job, working down at the deli.
This film was directly referenced in the 1993 Simpsons episode, Krusty Gets Cancelled.
That's right.
Gabbo!
Ray J. Walker. Aye, aye, aye.
If you want a career in vaudeville, it's not too late.
I think it's too late for a career in vaudeville, but I'll hear you out.
You could be a dancer, you could be a ventriloquist like Mr. Gabbo, or a magician.
Ooh.
And this gift might just help you out with that.
Cubio. Which looks like an old food coloring, but I guess not.
It does.
Stops at command.
Magic.
I'll just open it up here. Oh, this is old enough. This could have the Spanish flu in it. Oh, there's all these instructions.
Well, don't reveal the secrets on camera. You guys are supposed to keep those to yourself.
Yes, of course.
So slap on some grease paint, put on your finest tuxedo, and enter stage right to the old leather couch where we're going to be watching The Great Gabbo. Stops on command. It works. Oh, Babe Kane is in this. Babe Kane. You know Babe Kane. Everyone knows Babe Kane.
It's Gabbo and Marie's second anniversary. She's gotten him flowers, and he's gotten her scowls and bitterness.
You think you can show me something?
Who you playing with, Dessay? Don't you know I'm loco?
Has no one noticed the creepy person in the middle of the room? Tough times, eh, Gabbo?
He's a sullen, moody type.
Because the only way that Gabbo can talk, really, about his emotions, is through Otto, his dummy. Well, I gotta go because there's a show tonight.
Gabbo performs his act.
I will now do the impossible.
Entertain you with this creepy puppet.
How often did I tell you not to be so fresh? Okay, Chief.
I'll settle on being dope and fly. Now it's time for Marie to come on and do her part, because she's his assistant.
And she drops the tray on the way out.
Classic Marie.
Verfluchtes Mensch.
Did he call her a flactustus mensch? He lets her know that she sucks, that she dropped the tray, that he doesn't want to work with her anymore, that she sucks and she dropped the tray.
Well, I will talk back to you.
Yakety yak. See, I'm talking back. I wish you'd go away. I'll go away.
Then I guess I'd better go.
Good.
You go.
Go to the chopper. Go. Go now.
I can still sing, and I can still dance.
I just can't carry the stupid tray.
That's right, so waitressing is out.
Oh, I've tried so hard to understand you, Gabbo. But you're impossible.
It's mostly the accent.
But she hasn't left yet.
I'm quitting the act tonight.
I'm going away now.
Go on, get out.
All right, well, I guess I'll go.
Goodbye, Otto.
Bye-bye, Toots. Going. She goes away. Now I'm in phase 2 of going. Otto says, I don't think you did the right thing.
You know we can't call her back.
'Cause she ain't no call the back girl. She ain't no call the back girl.
Looks like she's gone this time. For good.
And I can tell what things look like, because I never blink.
You don't think so?
Ah, my neck! Ah. Marie is nice to us. You should get her to come back. Gabbo says, no. 9. I think he's German.
Nothing in this world can worry me.
Except perhaps if I had lots of stocks tied up in the stock market and then something bad happened. That would be the only thing that would worry Gabbo.
Oh, that could never happen, Gabbo. I'm going to become the biggest ventriloquist in the world. 2 years goes by, and Gabbo is now the biggest ventriloquist in the world.
He gets in his Rolls Royce with his buddy Otto, and they go to a fancy dinner. All the people at the surrounding tables know about how eccentric he is and how talented he is.
Marie is also having dinner at that same place. She's got this handsome man with her.
She remembers the good times she used to share with Otto.
All right, dear. I'll trot over to the theater.
I'll start over there. Otto, some people have requested a song. Yeah, sure, I will do it.
I sing my lollipop song.
Gabbo, don't give it away for free, man.
Then to try my luck with lollipop. 'Cause I always drop my lollipop and it gets all over icky.
It gets all over icky. Why, that was theoretically entertaining.
Here's a lollipop for you, sir.
I wasn't singing about a lollipop, really. I was singing about drugs. Lollipop was a symbol.
When I drop my opium pipe, it gets all over icky. Marie goes up and says hello to Gabbo.
Caviar and lobster, too. You know what the doctor said about that.
Eat as much of it as you can, because it tastes real good.
Marie and Gabbo and Otto are all going to the same place because they're in a show together. We get to see a song in this show that they're in. It's not all ventriloquism.
Every now and then, when you go away, I want you back again.
Let's see, was this song written by Titsworth or Zaney? I wonder. I can't quite tell. Normally I know their work.
I'm enough to telephone a long way south, and you wouldn't be.
You know, we're pretty blasé about this whole thing, but back in 29, people were watching this and going, I can't believe it! How did they get so many people up there? Exit with downward dog pose. How will we top this spectacle? Why, with the frowning, unhappy stylings of Gabbo.
He will vaguely remind you of someone who shot at you during the war.
Frank sees Marie come to the theater with Gabbo.
Harry, it's Frank. Can I come in?
Come on in.
Hey, it's me, Frank, like I said outside the door. Say, these flowers are swell.
Well, did he send these too?
Uh-huh.
Oh, for the love of Mike.
Ah, Mike. He deserves all the love he gets.
Did you drive to the theater with him?
Certainly.
Why, you're all wet.
Well, I'll give him his answer for you, and the answer is you're not going.
So, we have this part for you in a movie we'd like to offer. You'll be playing Mary. She's a showgirl. All you do is get yelled at in dressing rooms. Gabbo has an assistant named Louie. Gabbo gets mad at Louie. You're fired, Lou! Get out of here!
Because that's what Gabbo does. He's got a hot temper, and he can only express his affection through a proxy such as Otto. And so that's kind of a deep-seated psychological problem that he should probably get some help for. I think Freud was just like coming on the scene around this time. I don't know history dates, but Freud. And now you may know him as the guy who probably shot the Kaiser, but we know him as the Great Gabbo.
The greatest ventriloquial exhibition of all time.
Now get a load of this. You're a dummy. Now you're a dummy.
Why were you late today?
I went to the dentist.
Oh. Does the tooth still hurt?
I don't know. He didn't give it back to me. Ha, ha, ha. How comical.
Oh, thanks for telling me.
And the audience roars with laughter. Maybe they were watching something else. This is the worst comedy I've ever seen. It's happening right now.
Oh, well, you fixed for steady company.
When will it end?
He's eating while doing his ventriloquist routine.
Ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ho. I'm laughing. Do I owe the rent when my dog's so spent when my best girl said hello?
Ho ho ha, he. The audience isn't laughing.
Forget this little song.
Ho ha ha, he. The audience has left.
She goes into his dressing room, fixes up everything just how he likes it.
I thought for sure that teacup was going down, because that's kind of her thing.
What are you doing in his dressing room?
Nothing at all.
Nothing except for a lot of really specific things. What?
Sing downstage.
Do you like my smile?
Do you like my... Wow, this is a poorly balanced shot.
Way too much proscenium. James Cruz was on his 5th martini of the day and wasn't paying attention.
Gabbo goes back to his dressing room and he finds everything just how it was supposed to be.
Tastes like burnt almonds.
Maybe she is coming back with us again.
And then the cycle of abuse can start anew.
Now we can laugh.
Ha. Ha. Ha.
There's another song.
Here we go, nice and slow.
Hey, knock it off.
She's totally adorable, and she needs a fire costumer, because a costumer needs to accent the positive. And all I can see are the really strange knees that she has.
All right, ladies, go out there and don't forget to stomp around and bump into each other. Gabbo's in love again.
I'm going to call down and make a reservation for 3.
I want beautiful flowers.
And I want some ugly flowers so the beautiful ones look even more beautiful by contrast. There's another song.
Caught in the Web of Love.
Featuring these 2 spiders.
Why is the Great Gabbo the headliner of this show?
I have no idea.
The highlight of the show was when a guy was sitting in old furniture talking with a piece of wood. There was also this very elaborate spider web number. But the big thing was the bald guy who did the boring jokes. I think the guy's unitard, I think I can see the image of the face of Christ on it.
That is the unitard of Turin. Oh, from a distance it looks even more like it. Just never ends, does it? It just never ends, Craig. Did you see those flowers I put in your dressing room? That was from Gabbo.
We all make mistakes. The Lord knows I've made mine.
I've never made a stupid mistake like dropping a tray, but I've made mistakes. Marie, I want you to be part of my act. She drops a bombshell. She and Frank are married. Ha ha ha, he, she has left you. It's your fault, you little freak. She loves you more than she loves me.
Punches Otto right in the eye.
Oh, what have I done? I've assaulted the only thing I truly love. He has these wild hallucinations. Was ist this? Get those crotches out of my face! He charges onto the stage and makes an ass of himself. That's the first smile in the entire movie. First smile, right there. He's dragged off stage. He's disgraced. His career is over.
It looks like it's not going to be caviar and Rolls Royces for him anymore.
Oh, Otto does not like this. All this sap is rushing to my head. Gabbo is ready to go full Day of the Locust. He sees his name being taken down from the marquee. Reet Gabbo, such a better name. Eat Gabbo! No! They took down those letters from the marquee. They're going to arrange them for the new act, Bob Gattareg and his dummy Toot.
Is this the end of Gabbo? Of Gabbo? Che end. Didn't Che end in Bolivia? In the jungle somewhere?
It's a rather tired cliche that ventriloquist dummies are creepy. But in this, especially at the beginning, Otto is truly unsettling. So much so that you want to look away.
They don't explain for a minute what the guy is doing there. That's just this marital argument, and there's this doll. Erich von Stroheim isn't really known for his comedic chops, but he is someone who can portray gravity. But the thing is that he's either underplaying it at a time when underplaying just gets lost on screen, or he's overplaying it so much like he still thinks it's a silent movie.
But when he's overplaying it, like at the end, that energy is really needed throughout. He's just a statue in so many of these scenes.
Yeah. It doesn't help that the movie has no sense of pacing at all.
No, none.
Where there'll be long pauses where they shouldn't be, where they'll have these conversations and arguments which are just going around and around in circles.
Even the production numbers, they just go on and on and on. And everything just needed to be shorter and tighter.
As for the production numbers, once I let myself accept them, there were some really impressive things.
Those two actors are pretty great because, Frank does all that amazing physical stuff. And then they have that moment in the dressing room.
And if you don't stop this, you'll have me so choked up I won't be able to sing.
That was a really nice emotional moment. And I think the actor was actually crying.
Was he?
I think so. And you never see that in movies of this era.
No. They were just so confused how to make a musical, it seemed, at that time. 3 years later was 42nd Street, which we watched on the show here. 4 years later was Gold Diggers of 1933. Those movies knew how to go back and forth from backstage to on stage.
The Gaga Bird number, which everyone thinks has been lost, you do see a bit of it in that hallucination. Mm-hmm. That's all that remains of it.
I love little moments like that where something has been left on the cutting room floor and then there's a reference to it other places in the movie. In The Goonies, there was a whole bit where they get attacked by an octopus. If you listen closely, he says, "Yeah, we were attacked by an octopus." I love it when the editor doesn't have the power to excise these little moments. I think Erich von Stroheim was always roughly 58 years old.
Yeah.
This is 25 years or so before Sunset Boulevard, and he looks exactly the same. Did you go through the phase when you were a kid?
I wanted to be a ventriloquist?
Yeah, no. I did. I was going to be the next Willie Tyler.
Did you have a Lester?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I wasn't going to shell out the money until I knew that I could do the talking without the moving,
You just practiced the... Okay.
Mm-hmm. There were books down in the library. Show you tongue placement.
Well, the curtain has fallen on the Great Gabbo, and now it's time to go to the after party that is Seen It.
Seen It. See? I got it. I still got it.
Langley M. Neely writes, Nomadland, the genius that is Chloe Zhao. Seen It.
Seen It.
I just did not connect with this movie. It didn't get inside me. It's not a plot-driven movie, obviously. It's a movie about a life. It's very similar to The Florida Project and Richard Linklater's Boyhood. And like Boyhood, about 3/4 of the way through Nomadland, I kind of started to get bored.
About 1/4 of the way into Nomadland, I started to get interested. It starts out like so many film festival movies I've seen, which are just these kind of drab movies that just seem to take place in worlds that don't have enough lighting. But eventually it just becomes such a distinct portrait of this world and this one woman who is moving through it. Once I sunk into it, emotions hit so strong with me, whether it be something really profound like talking about the death of a loved one, or when someone drops a box. If you're not in the mood for this movie, and there's some people who seem to have like a genetic disposition not to be in the mood for the movie, or just some people like you who just wasn't in the mood that day.
I wouldn't say it's mood-based. I would say it's the movie.
It's not a thrill ride.
Nor did I expect it to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to sound like someone who's not sophisticated or unintelligent, but I just kept going through. It was like, please, I want something to happen. I don't want to go back to the Amazon Fulfillment Center. No!
Yes. Marina McAwesome writes, my friend and I texted back and forth for 2 hours about how much Promising Young Woman destroyed us emotionally. That's how you know it's good. Seen it!
Seen it. I've got my SAG screener right there, Promising Young Woman.
You wanted something to happen in Nomadland? Well, they just took all of that activity and moved it over to Promising Young Woman. This is a movie that moves through different genres. You thought this was going to be a shaky cam slice of life movie? No. It's going to be this Lynchian portrayal of suburban malaise. No. It's going to be a revenge drama. No. It's going to be a romantic comedy. I am so satisfied with that movie, particularly with how it ends. It's so rewarding, even though you have to go through so much strain and stress to get there.
It sets up at the beginning, this is going to be an avenging angel for the Me Too generation. It gets so much deeper than that and so much more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
There's another way that this movie is very similar to Nomadland, because both of those movies feature women who can't let go of grief. And one woman who's running away from grief and one woman who is
running towards it.
Yeah. Rob Lucas, Hillbilly Elegy is so well cast and acted, and the subject matter hits home for someone who lives in a cultural region of the film. Seen it?
Not seen it.
The people who do the Golden Raspberries are jerks.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that they're all about tearing down sacred cows and pointing at the worst of what Hollywood has to offer. But the nomination of Glenn Close for the Golden Raspberry is in poor taste, and it is undeserved. She does not give a bad performance. She gives a good performance in a bad movie.
The Razzies are a childish display of superiority by people who I don't even think make movies.
As far as the movie goes, Rob, I'm glad you liked it. But it feels like a TV movie. The hillbilly kid goes to Yale Law School, and he's at this fancy dinner, and he's looking down, and there's all the forks, and what fork do I use? We really need to see that scene again. Mm-hmm. And Ron Howard really should have known better than to lean on tired cliches like that, even if it was in the book.
And from what little I know about forks and such, you start on the outside and work your way in. Fran Newhouse asks, the father? How about that Anthony Hopkins? Whoever thought Hannibal Lecter could make me cry? Seen it! Man's got one of these things.
The Father is the best picture of 2020. Just look at that cover. You expect a certain type of movie. You expect a movie like Still Alice. The daughter is dealing with her aging father and the challenges of it. This movie is nothing like that. I was really, really blown away by it.
Great dramas are never just dramas. This is a great drama that's dressed up to look like a horror movie and a mystery. What are you doing here? What happened to my daughter? And also figuring out the mystery of whose house is he in.
The set is kind of a character.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope this wins Best Production Design, because the way they designed those sets was just brilliant. I'm surprised that no one has done this before. Here's your daughter. She goes in the next room, comes back as a different actress. Mm-hmm. Who are you? That's a perfect encapsulation of the confusion that's going on, presumably, in people who are afflicted with this.
And like the ever-shifting present.
Also, the timeline as we understand it doesn't make any sense, because there's an incident that happens here and the same incident happens here.
Yeah.
It's mind-bending. There's an entertaining place where you can go for a great show, and that's our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. All of our shows are there, our episodes, 200 plus of them, and there are PayPal donation buttons that you can click on to help support this show with a one-time or rolling monthly donation. One of our donors is Vishal. I believe he has donated before. Very generous donation here. The laughs and the analysis have been such a pleasure this past year. You are sharper than ever. Love to all in the basement. To watch us open our mail, you can watch Unboxing, which is another show that we do, and that's coming up this coming Friday.
A lot of mail.
Thanks for watching The Great Gabbo with us, and now we'll thank you to watch this.
So when we went to New York, we went to see this show, and they had this big staircase, and women were just walking up and down and singing it. It was transplendent. I felt like I was in heaven. It's just going to be walking up and down stairs with pretty women. I'm in the audience. I know it now.